Before we begin with this week's Get Good video, a special thanks to Brickster for once again providing us with beautiful artwork for the thumbnail. A link to their channel will be in the description and pinned comment.
I'll be seeing you.
Welcome to a video on how to get good at the Heavy, the loudest and proudest motherfucker known to man, who demands your attention in how right royally fucked you are if you choose to mess with him. Players who are able to master the Soviet loudmouth will be a magnet for medic pockets, and your team will love you forever. Let's get started. The Heavy is one of the 3 defense classes in Team Fortress 2 and is perhaps one of the most iconic characters not only within the game itself, but the gaming industry. The Heavy is designed to be loud and proud and take the center of attention for the enemy team, and this comes into his first main factor in that he has the highest amount of health out of any class in the game at a massive 300 health, making him quite the damage sponge to most sources. This makes Heavy one of the classes who should always be on the front line whenever possible, not only as a distraction, but to also cause mayhem and destruction with his insanely high damage output. On top of this, the Heavy also has 50% resistance to most knockback sources, being shoved around less, so enemies will have a hard time shoving heavies around. For all this bulk, however, the Heavy pays quite the damning price, for this Subway sandwich loving heap of shit is the slowest class in the entire game, traveling at a mere 231 hammer units per second, making him exceptionally poor when it comes to chasing down victims or retreating to safety. This also makes them essentially free kill targets for classes such as spies, and especially snipers, so always check your back and be careful when traversing across side lines, because you never know when that Australian piss fetishized wanker will seize the opportunity to pop your fucking skull. Because of this slow speed, players should position themselves to where they'll still be in the fight but be able to take an escape route at a moment's notice should shit hit the fan. Memorize health pack and ammo pack locations and you should be good to go. The Heavy's primary weapon of choice is of a powerful minigun capable of dealing monstrous levels of damage at close range, and is the best way to tell your enemies to either respect your space or to outright slaughter them without a second thought. The weapon requires a 0.87 second spin up time before it begins firing, and whilst the weapon is actively deployed, the player suffers a 53% speed penalty and cannot jump. These penalties can be partially mitigated by jumping and preparing your weapon around corners, not only to keep your mobility for a brief moment, but to also surprise the shit out of enemies not expecting you. When deployed, the minigun makes a very loud distinctive sound, which enemies may pick up on and use to their advantage. The weapon fires 9.5 rounds per second and comes with a magazine capacity of 200 with no way to reload it outside of dispensers and ammo packs. Each shot fired fires out 4 bullets that can deal 9 damage each, which totals to 36 per shot if all 4 connect. If however you get right in an enemy's face, then the damage scales up to 13.5 per bullet, or a maximum of 54 if all 4 bullets land on the target. However, the minigun suffers greatly at a distance, not only due to its damage drop-off reducing its damage output by nearly 50%, but also because of the weapon's extremely wide spread, making it ineffective at mid to long range. Trying to snipe with this chain gun heap of shit will net you results similar to a Mercy May thinking they can 1v5 the entire enemy team by their fucking selves. Additionally, because of its high rate of fire, the minigun will chew up ammo very quickly, so always make sure you know where either a dispenser is or ammo packs are, otherwise you will essentially just be a big meaty target for the enemy team. Because of how the minigun functions, acting as a pseudo rapid fire shotgun like weapon, one should treat it as such, in making sure enemies are close enough to where you can easily track their movement and slaughter them in mere seconds. However, one should avoid having enemies get straight in your face, since it will make tracking very difficult and you will likely be throwing your camera around wildly, to the point where they can play Ring Around the Roses against you and make you look like a complete tit. As a side note, when initially deploying the minigun, Its accuracy and damage output takes 1 second to scale up to their maximum value, so do keep this in mind if going against enemies that are aware of your presence. As a heavy, because you are the center of attention and always getting shot at constantly because you won't shut up about how hot your medic girlfriend is, chances are you're going to be on low health for quite a substantial portion of the game. This is something you should get used to as a heavy, so be sure to either know where most health pack locations are, or as stated earlier, have a medic available to heal you. If however, neither of these options are available, then don't worry, cause Valve has you covered as you are able to replace your shitty shotgun in exchange for a delicious lunchbox item. These puppies are essentially a medkit that you carry for yourself. For the sake of this tutorial, we shall be sticking to the default sandwich, as it is the most common choice for heavy mains. This delicious heap of shit is better than any dispenser or most medkits. Simply just find a safe place to chow down, and within about 4 seconds, your delicious sandwich will heal you all the way to full HP, allowing you to head out into the battlefield once again. Once the sandwich is used, it will go on a 30-second cooldown. However, one should be careful where they consume their personal med kit, since heavy makes a loud audible munching noise, which essentially alerts everyone within a 5-mile radius that your fat ass is currently eating and is unable to fight. So always be sure to eat when in the safety of your team, or some enemies may intrude on your picnic, and if they kill you at just the right time, they may even be able to take your sandwich for themselves. If a teammate is in dire need of healing, then you can throw your sandwich using the alternate fire button, which will drop the sandwich on the floor. This will function as a medium health pack and is great for either your pocket medic or if no health packs are available nearby. Using it this way also triggers the cooldown, so be sure to use it wisely. Additionally, if your sandwich is on cooldown and you walk over a health pack whilst at full health, it will instantly recharge your sandwich. Granted, this should only be used if no one else is needing the health pack, otherwise you might be sabotaging your team. One thing to consider as a heavy is that you are one of the most ideal candidates for a medic buddy, especially considering you're a magnet for damage from the enemy team. This also makes you a great source for medics to build their uber charge quickly, as well as keep you happy and healthy within the fight. If anything, a medic is a heavy's best friend when it comes to taking on enemies, not only in keeping him alive, but also acting as a second pair of eyes. The heavy can concentrate on plowing through enemies, whilst the medic can keep an eye out for spies, or even enemies coming around flank routes that the heavy may not realize because he's too busy pelting bullets into that one spy who spawn camped him for 7.5 minutes straight. A good medic will allow the heavy to just go on an absolute rampage, not only thanks to the constant stream of healing, but also thanks to the different kinds of Ubers that allow the heavy to just plow through teams. The stock Uber's invincibility essentially forces the enemy team to retreat. The crit's creep grants the heavy a damage output so monstrous that only a crit boosted soldier or demo can rival him. The quick fix's enhanced heal rate and knockback immunity allows him to plow through sentry nests as well as become unmovable. And the vaccinator allows you to essentially duel certain classes without breaking a sweat, as well as shit on the bots whenever they come and visit. Overall, if a heavy has a medic buddy up his ass the whole game, there is going to be quite the trouble in taking them down, unless either one or both of them are proud representatives of Team Dipshit and can't figure out their head from their ass. In terms of strengths, the heavy is a class designed around being the center of attention, capable of absorbing a lot of damage and returning a ton of damage back. The heavy can easily win most duels up close if the enemy is not prepared for it. His sandwich is also a reliable source of self-healing if either no medics or dispensers are nearby. However, the heavy is extremely slow, making chasing down opponents or getting to places of interest take a long time. His slow speed also makes him a prime target for snipers and spies, so if many exist on the enemy team, you will be in for some deep shit. Lastly, if no medics or dispensers are available to support the heavy, then the heavy will have to waste time searching for ammo and health packs, which may make him vulnerable. Thanks to this guide, you will now be able to shred through enemy teams without much issue and watch as you get hundreds of friend requests from medic mains as they beg to be your pocket. Be sure to come back for the next episode next week. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more shit like this. Have fun.